All right. Good afternoon, everybody. There's a question here on quora from Hex Virum, and Hex Virum says, "I've noticed that many Chabad or Orthodox don't have the blue string on their tzitzis. Why is this? As I'm conservative and I have blue on mine." So the answer that I could give is like this. First of all, whether or not what we're dealing with the blue here, this has been a question, for about 130 years, I would say, that some people have, maybe a little bit more, maybe 140, 150 years now, that some people have claimed to discover how to make the techelet, the blue dye of the tzitzis, or tzitzit, if you will. The first claim that I'm aware of was the Radziner Rebbe, who was the scion of the Ishbitzer dynasty, which is a Hasidic dynasty coming out of Poland. Very famous for their, it's interesting because now they're more famous for the techeles, for the techelet, the blue dye, but the Ishbitzer dynasty, I guess maybe is a little bit more famous for their really radical theology of predestination, which is, I think, the Jewish variant in a certain sense, although they developed, I would say, theologically independently. I don't think the Ishbitzer was reading Calvin, Chas v'sholom. I'm sorry, but it could be considered a type of convergent evolution in theology, where the Ishbitzer taught a type of a radical predestination. However, the difference between the Ishbitzer and the Calvinist theology, in the simplest form, although it's really simplistic, is that the Calvinists think, well, you're predestined pretty much to go to hell. I'm saying, unless you're saved, and you were born that way, well, that's it. There's nothing you can do. Whereas the Ishbitzer is just the opposite. Of course, he was strictly Orthodox. He wasn't teaching anything that was and strictly orthoprax. He wasn't teaching that one could go away from the teachings of the Torah in even the slightest bit. But he recognized that when human beings do that, it's also part of God's plan. So in any event, like I said, his grandson Gershom was the Baal Techeles, and he put in a lot of work, and his understanding was that the cuttlefish, if you do some chemical work on the cuttlefish blood, it will turn blue, and that is the techeles of the Torah. And he based it on his understanding of the Talmudic tractates and Menachos and other things. More recently, there's I believe, Murinex, Trunex, another type of a snail, another mollusk. The cuttlefish is also a mollusk, but not a snail. The cuttlefish is a cephalopod. It's related to a squid or an octopus. Very flamboyant type of animal, actually, the cuttlefish. And the Murinex, it's a type of snail. And many scholars have said that this is the techeles. So first of all, you have two different views of which is it. Is it the Murinex or is it the cuttlefish? That's the first question. But then there's something deeper. In Judaism we have what's called Masorah. We have tradition. So on one hand, if you are a follower of someone who has this, and it's funny because two of my rabbis do wear techeles. I have one rabbi who's a Breslover Chassid, and a lot of the Breslover Hasidim started to wear techeles when the Radziner came out. And then and I have another Rebbe, Polish Rebbe, Bialer Rebbe, who also he wears on his talis katan. He wears techelet, not on the talis gadol. And I know other tzaddikim that also they wear the techelet. So, should I wear it? I guess the main reason I don't do it is because it would be kind of oddball in the community where I send my children to school and stuff. Even though it's oddball to be posting on YouTube and Quora also, but I think it's maybe a little bit more oddball that to wear the techelet. So Chabad specifically, I don't know any real Chabad Hasidim who wear techelet, because Lubavitcher Rebbe didn't, and that's a group that's very focused on following whatever their Rebbe did. Similarly, you have a lot of the Russian Hasidim are very focused on copying what their Rebbe did. So since Lubavitcher Rebbe didn't wear techelet, the Lubavitcher Hasidim are not going to wear techelet. So that's your answer for Chabad. That's very easy. Other Orthodox, again, I think the majority don't wear it, but many do, and it's getting to be more and more popular. And it all goes by what is the community standard where you are dealing with. And furthermore, what was I going to say? So if it's the common practice where you reside, so then that's how it goes. But furthermore, we really don't know what it is. But even if we did, if someone, their teacher doesn't do it, they probably wouldn't do it. They would base it on what their teacher does, maybe what their father does, that type of thing. And so that's really how, for the most part, the Orthodox world, they look at things in that lens of what you would call Masorah, what you would call tradition. To introduce something new, they don't have a basis for that, and so they wouldn't do it. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later.